Hello students, myself Rakesh Misra. In previous video lecture you have learned the adaptation in plants as well as animal by means of different climatic habitats. They are actually in low temperate area, in high temperate area. In low temperate area you have learned the different types of the rules, that is the Bergamon's rules, Allen's rules, Ranch's rules, Jordan's rules. That is very important to learn and very important to clear your concept regarding that rules. In this video lecture, we will learn about the aquatic adaptation in plants as well as the animals. It means what are the important characteristics that are found in the body of animals or plants by which they are able to tolerate the very harsh habitat. For that, the harsh habitat is the aquatic itself too. So the aquatic animals and aquatic plants, later one by one I will describe. First of all, the aquatic adaptation in plants. Your heading should be longer to compare than the aquatic adaptation. The aquatic adaptation in plants. In plants, aquatic adaptation in plants. As you all know, plants are having the air sac. You are well familiar with the word aerenchyma. When the parenchyma possesses the air sac, the parenchyma known as aerenchyma. So the plants are actually filled with a lot of air sacs in them that actually reduce the overall weight of the plants so that they can actually flow with the water and also they can survive their lifespan. So the aerenchyma, that is air sacs are the modification of aerenchyma. Aerenchyma, that is the modification of parenchyma, is the characteristics of the plants. And what are the advantages of aerenchyma? I think your concept is clear in previous video lecture, in previous classes. That is, aerenchyma make the light weight to the plants so that the plants that are aquatic behavior, that show the aquatic behavior, actually take advantage and feel lightweight. Now back to the next, the cuticle layer and mucilaginous layer. Cuticle layer and mucilaginous layer are actually the characteristics of plants. If the plants possess mucilage or layer of cuticle, then they actually act as the water resistance to the plants. Means with the help of cuticle and mucilage, the water cannot sink into the plants and the different kinds of impurities that present in water, and water itself cannot affect to the plant's life. So this is the important characteristics of the plants that grow in the aquatic habitats. Keep in mind, these are the important characteristics of plants. As you all know, the plants has the many different kinds of different types. The plants may be the submerged plant, rooted plants or floating plants. On this basis, the plants may be able to survive in the water body by means of the air sac, cuticle and mucilaginous layer. This is your homework, and explain in your own language whatever the advantage of air sac, mucilage and cuticle. Mucilage and cuticle have both actually water resistant material which provide the advantage to the aquatic plants. Now back to the aquatic animal, that is adaptation in animals. Aquatic animals, that is in animals. B. Animals. The first important characteristics of animals, as like plants, the animal that are aquatic are possess air sac, like fish, that is known as air bladder. Air bladder are the characteristics as like the air sacs in plants. The animals possess the balloon-like, pouch-like structure, that is air-filled structure, and that air-filled structure make the same function as like the plants that feel lightweight. So the aquatic animals are actually feel lightweight by having the air sac. This air sac reduce the overall weight of the animals. So air sacs reduce the weight, air bladder reduce the weight because of having the lot of air filled in them. Now back to the second important characteristics, that is streamline body. Streamline body. What is streamline body? Let I aware you. This types of body, that is the body of fish, that is anteriorly or posteriorly it is conical shape. This avoid the friction. This reduce the overall friction that is created by the water, so that the fishes and other organisms that are aquatic can able to reduce the friction and can able to swim anti-current water, that is water flow from this direction to this direction, then the aquatic organisms may able to swim from this direction to this direction. Keep in mind. So it able to move, it able to swim. The streamline body reduce the overall friction of water that is generally created during the water flow. So this help to overcome the problem of friction, and this is the advantage of aquatic organisms. Now next, the gills. Gills. What are the advantages of gills in fishes and other aquatic organisms? Gills actually help to absorb the oxygen from the dissolved oxygen from the water, and this help to maintain the oxygen level in the body of aquatic organisms. So gills, almost all function of gills is actually over. Now next, the scales. Scales are actually important for the plants, and it is important for the scales are important for the animals, not plants. Scales are important for the animals, and with the help of scales, the animals, aquatic animals like fishes, able to tolerate the effects of the water. Water may be harmful or useful, but actually all time if the aquatic organisms remain in water may be affected because of having the lot of water. If sink inside the water, inside the body of aquatic organisms, then the body almost gets swell and it may become burst. So in order to avoid the water and their effect, the scales actually act as the insulating agents or an envelope over the body of fishes and other living organisms that are aquatic. So scales are actually water resistance material that are present in the aquatic animals only. Plants do not have scales. You are well familiar with the word placoid and cycloid scale in class 11. The placoid scales are the characteristics of the chondric fish species, and the cycloid scales are the characteristics of ostrich fish species, that is the freshwater fishes. So the scales important to create the resistance or water resistance over the body, and it prevents the entry of water from outside to inside the body. Keep in mind, these are the important materials or important substances. Now next is the fins and the limbic membrane. Fins are common in fishes. As you are familiar with the word fins are the actually adopted, and that is actually the modified or evolved form of the forehead. That is four limbs, and this helps to swim in the fishes. Limbic membrane, that need to explain what is limbic movements. That is, what is the limbic membrane? Many frogs has the web-like patterns to their posterior and as well as the anterior limbs. The posterior limbs actually possess the membrane in between the digits. This is the digits of, this one is the digits of the limbs. Digits means क्या होता है और limbs means क्या होता है, मैं क्लियर कर रहा हूँ. Digits means होता है एक एक उंगली, और limbs means होता है उसका पैर या हाथ. तो जो limbs होते हैं उनमें जो digits होते हैं, उंगलियां होती हैं, उनके बीच में इतना गैप नहीं होता. उनके बीच में एक पतली सी पन्नी के जैसा, एक पतली सी मेम्ब्रेन के जैसा स्ट्रक्चर होता है, और ये पानी को पीछे करने में या वाटर बॉडी में तैरने के काम आते हैं. आप इसका एग्जांपल फ्रॉग, डक, इसका एग्जांपल वहां से ले सकते हैं. डक एंड फ्रॉग्स आर एक्चुअली एग्जांपल ऑफ having the limbic membrane. This limbic membrane helps to swim very fast. Keep in mind. So these are the important characteristics, that is the 5 characteristics of animal that are adopted in the water body. Now back to the adaptation in high altitude. That is very important. Adaptation in high altitude. Now the adaptation at high altitude. High altitude means the mountain area, hilly area, or the area above the 1000 or 2000 meter from the ground. It means when you move region of Himalaya or the Rohtang valley, then you will feel the different kinds of problems like allergic problems. There is the bleeding from the nose and also the nausea, vomiting type, and that problems actually collectively known as the altitude sickness. So what common things, what common symptoms appears when you move into the region of the high altitude? Listen, the common symptoms that appears in the high altitude area are actually the nausea, allergy, that is in form of nausea, allergy, in form of nose bleeding, the palpitation, heart palpitation, fatigue. These are some common problems appears when you move from low altitude to high altitude. Your area is low altitude and the area of hilly region is high altitude. So in your area you are adapted, but in the area of high altitude you feel these problems. The nausea, जीभ में चलाना इसको कहते हैं, vomiting, allergy, nose bleeding, heart palpitation, abnormal heartbeat, that is heart palpitation, fatigue, थकान, बहुत जल्दी आप थक जाएंगे, ठीक है. These problems are collectively called as altitude sickness. These problems are known as altitude sickness. So what actually altitude sickness? The problem that you feel from low to high altitude region, there will be the altitude sickness. Altitude sickness is common in those person who suffer, who actually journey from the low altitude to high altitude region. Now let's check why these problems appears in person that move from low altitude to high altitude. Listen, the two region behind the problems of nausea, allergy, heart palpitation, fatigue, that is the altitude sickness. The two region. It may ask in the examination, what are the region behind the altitude sickness when the person move from low altitude to high altitude? The two region behind the overall problems are: point 1, in the high altitude the oxygen amount is very low. In high altitude the oxygen amount is very low, and in high altitude the atmospheric pressure is also low. So in high altitude the low atmospheric pressure as well as the low oxygen level, the concentration of oxygen in environment is very low in the high altitude region. These two problems actually create the major symptoms over the body, inside the body of person that actually suffers with the altitude sickness. And these problems may appear in your body too, because you are not adapted in the particular habitats. Why these problems not appears in the organisms or the person that belong to that area regularly or throughout the lifespan? Because of having some adaptation, and that adaptation. Listen, what are the adaptation that the person never feel these problems, that is never feel the altitude sickness in that particular region, that is the low oxygen level in the atmosphere or the low atmospheric pressure do not actually affect to the body of the person that actually belong to that particular area. The first adaptation of the organisms or the person that belong to particular area are having the much RBCs count in blood. The person that belong to high altitude area having much RBC count in blood. Your blood actually possesses very less RBC count to compare than the person that belong to a very high altitude area. What are the advantage of the much RBC in that person? Actually, as you all know, RBC is that total amount of RBC is directly proportional to the total amount of hemoglobin, the pigment that carry the oxygen as well as the carbon dioxide from lungs to the different parts of the body. So, much RBC count in blood is directly proportional to much hemoglobin. Much hemoglobin in body. So, if the hemoglobin are much, then they are able to trap maximum amount of oxygen from the environment. If maximum amount of oxygen is trapped by the hemoglobin, they will never feel the problems that are appears due to the lackness of oxygen as well as the low atmospheric pressure. Keep in mind, the pressure will actually fall down if you feel the high altitude sickness. That is due to the lack of oxygen in your body because of having lack of oxidative pigments like hemoglobins, because your numbers of RBCs are very less. So how the person that belong to high altitude area get adopted? Because of having the much RBCs count in blood as well as the much hemoglobin in the body. These are the adaptation. In this video lecture you have learned the aquatic adaptation, that is in plants as well as in animals, and altitude, that is adaptation in high altitude sickness, that is high altitude area. By means of the different kinds of problems appears, the question may ask in the examination as the problems, what kinds of problems appears in the organisms or the person that suffers from that actually journey from the low altitude to high altitude. It actually asks as the hot base or 3 marks question. You need to describe in your own language regarding the problems of environment as well as the problems appears in the body. These are the problems of environment, that is from the high altitude, and these are the problems that appears in the body. These problems are collectively called as the altitude sickness. So altitude sickness are the total overall symptoms that appears due to the low oxygen and low atmospheric pressure in the body, and the organisms or the person that belong to the hilly area proper or high altitude area proper are having much RBC as well as the much hemoglobin. This helps to tend the capture much oxygen. Keep in mind, much oxygen in the body. Suppose that अभी आपको एक एग्जांपल बता दें, मान लो कि 2 तालाब है, एक तालाब में, यहाँ पे मैं एग्जांपल बता दे रहा हूँ आपको ताकि चीज समझ में आए। एक तालाब में 10 मछलियां हैं और एक तालाब में 100 मछलियां हैं, ठीक है। तालाब की साइज और जो एरिया है ना वो बिल्कुल सेम है, ठीक। अब इसको पकड़ने के लिए 2 लोग हैं और इसको भी पकड़ने के लिए 2 लोग हैं। अब ये बताओ कि सबसे ज्यादा मछली कौन से ग्रुप के लोग पकड़ेंगे? ये ग्रुप ए है और ये ग्रुप बी। सिंपली क्या है, ग्रुप ए। क्यों? क्योंकि जितने अमाउंट में वो है उसके कंपेयर में जो बाहर जो अमाउंट है वो ज्यादा है। किसका ज्यादा है? पर्टिकुलर मछलियों का ज्यादा है, ठीक है। अब एक दूसरा एग्जांपल बताओ कि ये बी को मैं बता दे रहा हूं, बी का स्ट्रेंथ जो है मैं कर दे रहा हूं 200, ठीक है। बी का स्ट्रेंथ जब 200 हो जाएगा तो मछलियां पकड़ना अब आसान किसको होगा? मछलियां पकड़ना इसको बी वाले को। रीजन क्या है? क्योंकि 200 लोग जब एक साथ तालाब में उतरेंगे तो उनके सामने कोई मछली बचेगी नहीं। ये पॉसिबल है कि इसमें कुछ न कुछ मछली बच जाए, क्योंकि ये 2 लोग हैं और तालाब का डायमीटर उतना ही बड़ा जितना ही है। तो यहाँ पे हमारी बॉडी में अगर नंबर ऑफ ऑक्सीजन, नंबर ऑफ हीमोग्लोबिन ज्यादा है तो बाहर कितना भी ऑक्सीजन है सब पकड़ा जाएंगे, ठीक है। लेकिन हमारी प्रॉब्लम तब होती है जब बाहर का ऑक्सीजन कम हो और अंदर हमारे क्या है, हीमोग्लोबिन का परसेंटेज ये ज्यादा, ठीक है। हीमोग्लोबिन का परसेंटेज भी कम हो और बाहर का ऑक्सीजन भी कम हो। बाहर का ऑक्सीजन कम होगा और हीमोग्लोबिन भी कम होगा तो सांस फूलेगी और इंसान की डेथ होगी, ठीक है। प्रॉब्लम्स अपीयर्स होगी। So what are the major problems appears in the hilly altitude area, hilly latitude area, high altitude area? There should be asked. They may be asked in the examination. I hope your concept regarding adaptation in high altitude is clear. In next video lecture, I will talk about the characteristics of population, because all about the characteristics of animals is over in this video lecture, and the video apart from this is actually over. That is all about the matter of organisms is over. From next video onward, I will discuss about the characteristics of population. Thank you.